Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Shilpa Data Insights. Today we are going to learn how to write the data frame to CSV file. So in order to write a data frame to CSV file, we need to import some modules. To import the modules, you can see in the command 1, we have from PySpark.sql and then import star. So this will go ahead and import all the modules that are present inside the PySpark.sql. So there is a module called dataframe writer that is used in order to write the file to CSV. So let me run this command and show you the documentation of the dataframe writer. So this dataframe writer is actually a class. In this class, there are multiple methods, and one of the method that we will be using is the CSV itself. So if you will go down and you will go ahead and see there's a method called CSV which we will be using in order to write it. And there are some parameters itself which is like path. You need to provide the path where you want to save it, what mode it is. We will discuss this in detail. There are some modes that you can go ahead and pass in the format of string, which could be an append, could be overwrite, ignore, or error. And apart from the mode, you can mention other options as well. Let's say what is the compression technique you want to use, what is the quotation, escape codes you want, how do you want to handle the null values, union, date format, and so on, right? So in order to write it, you understand now you have to use this data frame writer. But how will you know whether you need to use the data frame writer? You can go ahead and know it by the help of the documentation itself. So if I go ahead and import this data frame module, inside this data frame module, there is a class called data frame. Inside this class data frame, there is an object called write object. If you want to see the documentation, how exactly the write looks like, what property it will take, you just put the help, put your module name, your class name, and the write function. So you see, it will go ahead and return this class called data frame writer. If this is difficult to understand, then don't worry, we will go ahead and show practically how to go ahead and write. But it's better to know how to read the documentation, which will help you in future if you want to figure out or get any module or any function out of the documentation. So in order to write, let's first go ahead and read the CSV file into a data frame. So I have a file called employee1csv inside this location, which I will go ahead and read. I will just show you that itself. So I've uploaded that in dbfs, file store, shared uploads, the email address, and this employee1csv. So if you want to know more about how you can go ahead and read the CSV file, please watch my previous video in which I have explained in detail how exactly this read CSV works. I have pinned the section in the I button and I've put the link in the description box as well for you to view. So I'm running this data frame. Now you see I've read the file in a data frame. So now it is present in the data frame. Now I will go ahead and write it into a CSV file. Now to write the file to CSV, I have used the same data frame, use the write object and the format of the file called CSV. Mention the path of the file where you want to go ahead and save, and I've mentioned it as TMP and employee. I have not created any folder. It will automatically create a folder called TMP and employee and save the file into that, and the header equal to true. So let me run this command. Okay, it says TMP employee exists. So let me just go ahead and clear that out. Okay, I'll just run it again because it was already existing. We will discuss that also. So now it has written the file into the employee folder. So let me go ahead and read that file now from that employee folder. So now you see it has read the file from that particular DBFS location itself. If I go to data and DBFS, there is a temp folder is now created. there is employee, and there are some files here. So if you will see, the employee file is not displaying, but there are some files called part file, success, start. So the name of the file is CSV. The last file that you see, the part file, it is the CSV file itself, if you will see the extension. But the name of the file is not employee. The reason is Spark works in distributed framework, and it will not go ahead and save the file with its name, because it has to distribute the entire work across the executors. So basically, Spark works in master slave architecture. So master is your driver node and slave are your executor nodes. So the master instructs the executor to work on it, and the task is divided among the executor, and it does it in parallel processing so that it speeds up the process. So that's the reason it actually saves it as a part file. In the coming sessions, we will also see how to explicitly mention and save it as a file name .csv. And the other three files that we see here, that is committed, started, and success, these are the transaction logs that is being created by Spark, that is actually saved here. I try to rerun the same statement, you will see there will be an analysis exception, because this file and this folder already exist in this particular location, and hence it is throwing error. So in order to avoid this, how exactly you can do it? So Spark provides some methods, some parameters that you can go ahead and mention in order to avoid this. So there is a mode called override. So let's say if you want to go ahead and override the file, you don't want to go ahead and give an error. So you can just mention the override method. So I've mentioned the override method, I've executed it. I will go to the top and let's try to read it now. Now I'm reading the CSV file. It is done properly without any error. Now let's say I want to append whatever was the result of the data itself back to the CSV. So I mentioned the mode called append here. Now let's see the result, what exactly it looks like. If you will see, it has appended the result as 1, 2 and 1, 2 again to the data frame. If in case the file already exists and you want to avoid any error and you want to terminate that operation if the file exists, you can just go ahead and mention the mode as ignore. Let me rerun this and show you. It has run, but it did not execute. If you will see on the top command where we had this append, it showed us how many Spark jobs it executed. But here, if you will see, it doesn't show us any Spark jobs. It means before the operation started itself into writing the file to the CSV file, it actually stopped because it actually finds the file in this particular location. So I hope you understand and know how to exactly read the documentation of DataFrame Writer now, and how to write the file to the CSV file using PySpark. If you feel this video added value to your knowledge and helped you, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you are new to my channel, then hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you have a good day.